So you're thinking about buying, selling, or maybe investing in Big Sky, Montana? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to cover in this video. I'm going to go through those positives and negatives, the pros and cons, so that you can know what to expect about the area as a whole. It's a unique small town, with that resort life tucked in the mountains here. So there's definitely some things that are important to know before living here or buying property. If you haven't seen them yet, be sure to check out my last couple of videos where I went, one of which I went in depth on Google Maps to give you an idea of where things are in Big Sky, and another one where I did more of a tour around the area of Big Sky itself, showing you a few different homes in different price points, a peek inside of a $3.8 million home, and a walk around the resort itself. So as I said, I'm going to be going over some things that are important to consider about Big Sky, Montana, whether it's living here or buying property, both the good and the bad. So let's get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Big Sky, Montana and the surrounding areas here in Southwest Montana, like Bozeman, Three Forks, Ennis, and Livingston, then be sure to subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market in Big Sky and the surrounding areas here in Southwest Montana. My name is Hallie. I'm a local real estate agent, and I get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move here in Southwest Montana, and I absolutely love it. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, invest, or move in the next 9 days or 90 days, just give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and I would be honored to help you find your place here in Big Sky and Southwest Montana. All my information is in the description below. One of the things that I tend to get asked about most often, that is both a pro and a con, is weather. We have a fairly short summer season, which means that a lot of construction type activities, both on the roads as well as building, tends to be concentrated in those summer months. Warm weather usually hits the area sometime in June and sticks around until, mid-September or so. So the growing season for gardening and things like that is pretty short. So if you're into that sort of thing, it can be a little bit of a con, but other than that, there's so much else to do in the area. It's typically not too much of a negative for most people here. The snow has been known to fly any given month of the year, really, but summer snowstorms are pretty rare. Usually it hits the area around mid-October into November and then lasts until sometime in May. Some years more snow in the spring than others, of course. But obviously, this is a great thing for a resort town. Big Sky tends to receive, on average, 400 inches of snow per year. Even with all that snow, the climate tends to be fairly dry, so the moisture content in the snow itself is pretty low, which makes for some amazing powder skiing, amazing light fluffy snow, which is great for skiing, snowboarding, and snowmobiling. So it goes without saying that outdoor adventure is a major pro of living in or near Big Sky, Montana. Aside from skiing, snowboarding, and snowmobiling in the winter, of course, in the summer, you can take advantage of amazing opportunities for camping, rock climbing, whitewater rafting, and some of the best hikes, in my opinion, in the whole area, such as Beehive Basin, Lava Lake, which is down in Gallatin Canyon, as well as Usil Falls for a more simple hike right in the town of Big Sky. Now, of course, we do need to keep in mind in the summer months as well that dryness or lack of humidity does stick around. We do get some pretty epic thunderstorms at some point during the summer, but they don't usually bring a lot of moisture, so it can get pretty dry, which can equate to, a late summer, early fall fire season, or at least smoke coming in from other areas. Thankfully, Big Sky is tucked into the mountains and doesn't get quite as much smoke as the Gallatin Valley does, say down in Bozeman, but it's definitely something worth considering. And a major pro about Big Sky is the progress and development that the resort itself is making and the big plans that they have for the future. With a brand new tram coming that's going to have higher capacity, as well as 2 very new, highly technologically advanced high-speed lifts. They're making some amazing changes at the resort that benefits not just the visitors, but the community as well. And of course, the resort offers employment for 1,800 people during the winter and about half that during the summer, of course, with plans to grow and change. So like likely more than that in the coming years as well. Needless to say, the area is definitely centered around tourism and that industry as a whole. There are some other jobs, of course, in home building and construction, as well as some small businesses as well, but there's not a lot of, it's not a large job market, and it's not a very diverse job market as a whole. Another major pro of Big Sky is that it is known as the base camp to Yellowstone National Park. Being just a 45-minute to an hour drive to Yellowstone, year round, it's an amazing opportunity to go check that out as well. In the winter, of course, there's snowmobile tours, snow coach tours, and of course you can drive down there and check out a few different areas. The roads are closed, or a majority of the roads are closed during the winter in the park, but in the summer, of course, you can get out and adventure a little bit more by yourself, or get one of those amazing tour companies to take you around as well. It's a fabulous national park with amazing opportunities to see wildlife, the thermal features, and of course the famous Old Faithful geyser. Being that Big Sky is surrounded by mountains, as I've mentioned already, the views are absolutely incredible. Almost any direction that you turn, you're gonna see mountains, sometimes snow-capped, tons of lodgepole pines. It's an absolutely beautiful area, with Lone Peak towering over the area at over 11,000 feet, and tucked right in the Madison Range with the Spanish Peaks and everything. It's an absolutely beautiful spot. You kind of can't miss the view anywhere you are in Big Sky. If you just look up and look around, it's beautiful. One thing that can definitely be considered a con is a lack of shopping in Big Sky. Now, of course, there's some boutique stores and small specialty stores, small businesses, things like that, but there's not a wide variety or a large, amount of shopping overall. Now, Big Sky did just get a brand new thrift store that has everybody pretty excited, and that's going to be amazing, I'm sure. And then Big Sky only has a few grocery store style markets as well. So something to keep in mind there, that things can be a little limited when it comes to all kinds of shopping, really. Now, one thing that Big Sky is not lacking is some pretty fabulous dining, from different options up at the resort as well as down in the town of Big Sky. There's a pretty wide variety, from Thai food right in town center to a mountaintop experience up at the resort. We've got sleigh ride dinners with that whole experience, as well as a backcountry yurt dinner, and then of course fine Italian dining as well. So there's a great variety and a lot of different options all over Big Sky for some pretty amazing food. Now, one thing definitely worth touching on here is transportation. It's a fairly vehicle dependent town. However, there is one option for public transportation called the Skyline bus. It has several different routes, some that go all the way down to Bozeman, some that go between town center and the resort, and some that circulate up at the resort. So there's a lot of different options for that, of course, on a schedule. There really aren't any Ubers or cabs or anything in the Big Sky area at all. With that, the airport is also about an hour to an hour and a half away. Summer roads, probably closer to an hour. In the winter, it can be more like an hour and a half, and that's what I usually tell people, to give themselves at least that much time. And then if it's during busier times, heading up to the mountain or coming down at the end of the day, definitely give yourself plenty of time. That road can be difficult. So the road, it's called Highway 191. It goes along the Gallatin River and connects Big Sky to Bozeman, and the rest of the Gallatin Valley. But it can be a very difficult road, especially in the winter, especially if it's snowing or there's a recent storm. The roads can be slick. So it's definitely something to keep in mind as you're planning any travel around the area. And the airport itself, Yellowstone International Airport, is getting more and more direct flights all the time. So definitely something to keep in mind, that while it is a small airport, there's a lot of different direct flights and options coming into Bozeman these days. The cost of living in Big Sky is also something that can be a bit of a con. So, the cost of utilities tends to be less than the national average. The cost of groceries and that sort of thing tends to be a little higher, maybe 4% higher than the national average, but housing itself tends to be 59% or more higher than the national average. Of course, this brings me to the topic of home prices more specifically. According to the Big Sky Country MLS, the median list price right now for a townhome, condo, or single family home in the general Big Sky area is about $3.5 million. So home prices are clearly something that can be a bit of a con for people looking to live or buy property in the area, but there really is an amazing opportunity for investment or income producing properties as well. The demand remains higher than the supply overall, and it's just a really highly desirable place to live with the resort town life and everything, so that does keep prices pretty high. Now, being that Big Sky is tucked right in the mountains there, the altitude is definitely on the higher side. The town of Big Sky sits right around 6,500 feet above sea level, and the resort base area is about 7,200 feet above sea level. So it's worth keeping in mind if you are sensitive to, altitude sickness and that sort of thing. Of course, staying hydrated and all of those good practices are always going to be highly recommended around here. But if you're extra sensitive to it, definitely keep that in mind. So overall, Big Sky is just a really incredible community. It's a small town with really wonderful people. The schools themselves are very highly rated. According to niche.com, you can certainly go there and check out a little bit more information and various reviews and things. But there's really only the 3 public schools. There's an elementary school, a middle school, and a high school. But really what it comes down to is being a part of this amazing community, tight-knit group of people who all live in Big Sky because they absolutely love it. They love that outdoor adventure, the skiing, everything that Big Sky offers, and it really brings people together, as well as some really incredible community events that happen. In the summer, of course, there is music in the mountains on Thursday nights. Of course, the skiing itself, as I mentioned, getting out, different things going on at the resort. In the summer as well, there's the farmers markets, and of course, around Christmas, there's the Christmas stroll, just to name a few options. But really, it's an incredible group of people living in this beautiful place, this resort town, and so it's wonderful to get out and meet different business owners and really become a part of the community. I hope you found value in this video, and of course, if you've got different ideas or questions or things you want me to cover in the future, please be sure to leave those in the comments below. And as always, whether you're looking to move or buy or sell or invest in the next 9 days or 90 days, just give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and I would be honored to help you find your place here in Big Sky and Southwest Montana. And until next time, I hope to see you out there.